Welcome to the Country Scroller. In today's video we're going to show you how to make a simple and easy wood rack. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the intro. Today's video is going to be a video that I got inspired to make by the Wood Whisperer, Mark Spagnuolo, over there on the Wood Whisperer YouTube page. It's the same concept wood rack, so and this isn't going to go in as depth as he did as far as putting it up, but I will show you the details of how I constructed it and all that. But actually assembling it, he has a nice video of that, so you can go over there and check that out. But while you're here, you can watch this video and maybe learn something about how to store some wood in your shop. So now the basic construction of this, I'll give you a glance at the wall and then we'll go over to the workbench behind us here of exactly how these things will go together, and I'll show you everything you'll need for the project. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so here's what the wood rack looks like right now without the wood on it. And you'll get more detail here in a second. Here's what she looks like. So let's go out here to the outside of the garage, or the workshop in the garage. And the wood that I have put on it is not too much, but just a bunch of maple and walnut and then some red oak there. So let's go ahead and put that on the rack and see how it looks. Alright, so now all the wood is on there and it all fit pretty much. I've got a few slabs outside the shop still, but that's pretty much it. I got most of the 8/4 or 2-inch thick boards on the bottom, and then that pretty high on the top, the 4/4 stuff, so we can look at it from afar. So that looks pretty nice. It's better to have all that inside the shop, and instead of being outside the shop, I like everything that has to do with the shop be inside of it. So there's that. Now we'll go over to the workbench and show the construction of the actual supports. Alright, here's just a little simulation of what the supports are. We have what would be the stud that'll go up against the wall, and then we'll have the supports. And first I'll just show you the triangle pieces here. From the measurements up here, it's sort of harder to read, so I'll just explain it. This is 3.5 inches, the width of a 2x4, by 15.5 inches long, and the 15.5 is because 3.5 of it will be covered the 2x4. So I'll construct it and show you. And then I made it 6 inches wide at the bottom, and that seems like a good enough meet there. And then just connected that point to that. So I'll go ahead and put together half of it here and show you what it looks like. So here's this piece, and I made up about 24 of these. No, not 24. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I made up 12 of these, so in total you would need 24 pieces of plywood, 12, yeah, just 12 pieces of 12-inch 2x4s, or 1 foot, and I just made them 1 foot in length. So the 15.5 length of the plywood is because of the 3.5 length of the 2x4 there. So I only have one hand to work with here, but as you can see, this will slide in here, and this will act as the wall. So that's up against the wall. This just slides into the groove there, and then you can just screw it to that on the sides of the plywood, and this is up against the wall like that. So and I'll show you closer over there too. But before I do that, I want to show you actually putting the stud up against the wall. And this is a little block that I made. I call it a story stick because it's sort of telling a story of what everything's going on here. And what I have, the bolts I'm using are they're 6-inch lag screws, and 6 inches seem to be a pretty good measurement. So what I have going on is the stud that's actually inside the wall, 1/2-inch drywall, and then the new stud that'll be the stud for the wood rack. So what I have is, for the 6 inches, and it's going to be set in flush to the surface. So when it goes in like that, and I did this simulation just to see how far I need to pre-drill because I pilot holed everything. So that's how far it goes into the actual stud inside the wall. So when I drilled, I've already drilled through this, and then so just for the drywall into that, I decided I wanted to drill that much and have this amount of wood not drilled out so it's nice and strong inside there so it anchors to the wall. So what I did was I did that, and I actually backed it out a little bit further so I can see where the tape stops. That'll be my stop, and it's sort of hard to see because there's drywall dust on it, but where that tape stops is where I would stop the drill bit when I drill into the wall. So that's just a little thing I made up. And also, fastening these, I have to use a ratchet because I don't have an impact drive or anything like that. On the Web Whisperer video, he uses an impact wrench to do his, and he puts his up in, you know, lightning speed, and I'm over there torquing it down for, you know, an hour it took me to do all those over there. So yeah, so that's that. So all the measurements, if you're going off of my measurements here, yours will look like mine. So let's go over and take a look at it again here. And I did one on each stud, so 6 of them down. And if you have a lot more room, you can also, you know, make it according to your space that you have to work with. So those are the studs there that I pre-drilled and then drilled into the wall and then anchored them in with the 6-inch lag screws. And it seems to be holding pretty well. And that's a lot of weight on those so far. So one each stud along the wall seemed to be a safe measure there. You can see how they butt up under there. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks for watching this video of the wood rack. We hope that it inspired you to make your own wood rack and give you ideas of how you could go about making one. And we just hope you enjoyed the video on that. And I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dustin.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.